Hello and welcome everyone. Today I am pleased to have with me Joshua Tharby. Hi Josh.
Hi. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. No, great to have you on, Josh, as well. And you are ubiquitous on social media, so you're probably no stranger to people on the platform who are listening. So we're going to be talking to Josh about what he's achieved, because it is simply astonishing. The title of this podcast live is How I Grew My Practice from 0 to 200K in less than 24 months, age 26. And that is exactly what Josh has achieved. So there's lots of things we can learn from Josh. Feel free to put your questions in the comments. So let's get started. First of all, Josh, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into accounting, and we will take it from there.
Yeah, so how I got into accounting, really, growing up as a kid, I wanted to be a DJ. My mum said, no, you've got to get a proper job. You need a profession. So basically almost got pushed into accountancy in terms of that's what was considered a proper job, a proper profession. So I did that at college, at AAT level 3, which is where I first started out. And then after that, and figured I actually quite enjoyed accounting. I've always been involved in business, and I couldn't really come up with my own business idea. So I thought, okay, the numbers and getting involved with all that kind of stuff is the second best thing. Accountancy, enjoyed it. Went to university, did it for a bachelor's degree and a master's degree as well. Completed all of that and started working for top 20 firms. So Saffery Shampness, McIntyre Hudson, those kind of guys, before thinking, you know what, there's an opportunity here to do things differently to the way they're doing them. So in 2018, it was when I basically took the step to start my own accountancy business, which is when I founded JSM Partners.
Fantastic. So you just decided to bite the bullet, go it solo, you gave your notice in, and then, what happened next? What was that first couple of months like? Talk to us about that.
So looking back, the first couple of months was basically me wasting time, to be quite frank. I was doing things that weren't important, whether that's kind of, I must have spent pretty close to two months most days just messing around my website. It was literally all these kind of things that weren't income generating tasks. They weren't getting me in front of clients. So I'm quite confident if I did the exact same thing again now, knowing what I know, I'd get to the end destination a hell of a lot quicker, just because I know what works and what doesn't, and I know where to not waste time. So things like that, that's definitely what I did for the first couple of months. Kind of spent a lot of time maybe writing blog articles and doing a lot of reading as well, because when I left practice, there were some gaps in my knowledge. So I spent a lot of time doing a tremendous amount. I think I must have done a good couple of 100 hours worth of CPD as soon as I left practice, just to bring me up to speed. So that's where I spent the first couple of months for sure.
Sure. Okay. So I know that you specialize in property, and it's something that I talk about a lot too with my accountant audience, is about the importance of positioning yourself, about niching. So I'm very keen to explore that a bit further with you, Josh. Tell me when you first started to realize that you wanted to focus in property. Was it something that you had kind of preempted, and was it intentional? Did you fall into it? When did you first realize that that's what you wanted to do? And then talk to me about how that then kind of, snowballed in effect to kind of what it is today. And no doubt your success is due to, a lot of your success is due to that kind of very clear positioning as to who your target market is, because that has led to all the great content that you're putting out on a regular basis. So let's do a deep dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of property, I've always been interested in property myself. I used to kind of skive school just to watch Homes of the Hammer. So I've always been involved in property, the way it works. So this kind of naturally transitioned through. So whilst I was working in practice, networking with other property investors as well on the circuit and all these Facebook groups. So I was aware of the property industry and the fact that there was a need for property specialist accountants, with how complicated it can be. So instantly, as soon as I left, I knew that we were going to be property specialists. That said, within the first couple of months, especially when it was quite slow getting clients, I thought, have I made the right decision here? Should I be a general practice? Everyone else does it. So there were those doubts. But then the more and more I think about it, the more clients we get, and the mistakes we've made from taking on clients that aren't in the property sector, whether it's a trading business, and then you start doing things differently when you've got different systems that work for all of your property clients. Then all of a sudden you're doing a VAT return for a trading business that's completely different to the property sector. All of the headaches that you have to take in order to learn that, stay on top of it, it just becomes a problem. So now we don't touch anybody that's not in property.
Absolutely. So how long was it after you started your practice that you actually doubled down and put kind of that quite clear messaging out to the marketplace that you are the property specialist? And what was one of the first things you did? Because I know you run a very successful Facebook group as well, which has got thousands of members. So did that kind of coincide with you setting up the Facebook group? How did that unravel?
Yeah, so all of that, when did we set that up? So I think it was January 2019, which is over that Christmas period. We did a lot of marketing. So I thought, yeah, we're going to set up this Facebook group, write a free ebook as well, get some email addresses and do a bit of a marketing push. So we did all that. I'd say I really doubled down on becoming in the property sector, probably 9 months into the business. And I thought, hang on a minute. We've got something here. Let's actually, it's probably when I spent all this time reading books. Some of those are marketing books. And I think a lot of Daniel Priestley stuff was great. And basically I just thought, you know what, you can't be everything to everybody. You know, clients, I think they're like fish. You can't try, you need a specialist nets. You can't go catch tuna with a fishing rod. You need a tuna net. So you have to be specialist in order to get the right content in front of them in order for them to bite. End of the day. So as soon as I realized that, we doubled down and we stopped taking on anyone else from any other industry, and everything we put out was, okay, is somebody who's a property investor going to like this?
Brilliant. No, absolutely. And I echo your sentiments. You know, when you try and appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. So it is very important to kind of know who your target market is. So a lot of people struggle with actually coming up with their specialist sector because they worry that they're going to turn down a business. But actually what tends to happen is they get the right type of inquiries and are able to service those clients a lot better and get paid a lot more for actually servicing a particular sector a lot better than a generalist. So when did that kind of real penny drop? Because presumably for that first 9 months you were taking on anyone and everyone, and then what really led you to say, right, that's it, from now on I'm only going to take on property? And you said you read some books. Was it through your interest in property? Did you already have kind of, was your client base made up mostly of property clients? You know, how did you just going back to that stage to really, what were the key factors that really helped you to make that critical decision of yours?
Yeah, so it was almost when we were just trying to refine our marketing message in all of our literature on the website. What is it? Are we the number one firm of accountants? Are we proper? So who are we looking for? Are we looking for, even kind of going back about a year ago, we can help property business owners and entrepreneurs. So it's all about, when we were looking at the message, that's just, that message in itself is confused. It's too wide ranging. Who do you help? Is it property investors or entrepreneurs? You can't help everybody. And it's at that point we thought, hang on a minute, I enjoy working in property. There's good money in it. When we've worked with tradespeople in the past, for instance, my experience of working with people in the trade is a nightmare. They've got lumpy cash flow. It's difficult getting money out of them. In the property sector, in order to buy a property, you need money. So we've never had any issues with recoverability of invoice or anything along those lines. So for me, it just seemed like the right industry to be in.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Right. So now we've made that decision as to who our target market is. So now talk to me about, what were the things that you did that got you the most traction? So clearly you set up the Facebook group, you did other things. Talk to me about some of the things that you did, perhaps, elaborate on what you did in the Facebook group. Where did you get most of your inquiries?
Yeah. So I suppose really we got a lot of it just by giving everything away for free. So for the first couple of months, for sure, I was spending most of my time just helping people. That was it. So you kind of just speaking to people. If I had any questions, literally giving away free advice, free phone calls, just doing what you can, where you can to help people, because all of that does come back around without a shadow of a doubt. We've got people now that we spoke to, say, a year or two ago, help them out with their situation. They recommend us, all of their friends. If they've got any questions at all, they come to us, and ultimately everything does come back around in the form of a new client. So that was 100% where a lot of it came from. And then the Facebook group, make sure you've kind of written a book or something on those lines, a great lead magnet. So you've got your mailing list, that you are using it, you are putting great content out there. So that would definitely be it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know your Facebook group is very very active. How many members have you got in there now? Is it?
So at the moment we've got I think it's 12.6K.
Wow.
Which is it's the largest property tax Facebook group, and it's one of the largest, kind of among the largest property groups itself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a fantastic achievement, and I like the way how you kind of phrased it. It wasn't anything about you; it was just called property tax secrets, and
Yeah.
which landlord doesn't want to find out about property tax secrets? So clearly, you did something right there in terms of even naming the group to try and get people to join it. So, I mean, would you say you get actual inquiries to work with you from the group itself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. In terms of everything we do, I'd say 95% of our business doesn't even come through the Facebook page. It's my Facebook profile. People buy from people. They want to work with Josh, the property accountant. It's all in my inbox. That's where it all comes from. So when I'm posting those videos, they see my face. They see it's me. They've seen, a lot of them have been watching the videos for the past year. So they know, like, and trust me. So it's just a case of, I need an accountant. Josh is the go-to guy.
Yeah, yeah. And that's another avenue that we're kind of right. So in terms of we've chosen our target audience, you've got the lead magnet in place, you've got the Facebook group, and that's kind of growing and nurturing an audience. And then it's that accelerator, that turbo booster, supercharged with the videos. Because I know you're someone who's very active on video. I've certainly found when you do videos, you accelerate that kind of that know, like, and trust factor that somebody needs to be able to work with you. Yes, you can do it through the written form, through blogs and articles, but when you're consistently doing video, you're in people's faces, you're in there on their phones. It just makes that that process a lot faster. So talk to me about your video journey. When did you start? How did you start?
Yes, I think we must have started well over a year ago. I think in terms of definitely doing a lot of pre-recorded videos, just starting out with my iPhone. Then we started doing a lot more kind of professional, getting a lot more equipment, proper stuff in, proper lighting. So yeah, literally probably started over a year ago, trying to at least put out one a week, I think was my initial target. And then we thought, you know what, let's ramp this up, one a day. So I think at some point last month, for the whole, I think it was August, September time, we did a live video each and every day, live at 5 in the Property Tax Secrets group. So that's a great way to engage with your audience, because there are people on there, you're saying, hi, Josh, and you get to interact with them. So it's just a great way to build that trust factor up massively that could not be done writing an article. Articles are faceless. These live videos where you're interacting with people, you're knowing them. So when you work with them, they don't just become your clients. They almost become your friends, because you've been speaking to them so regularly. It's like, how's your children? Oh yeah, did you get that problem sorted out? You've had that conversation for a much longer period of time.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, clearly you're a very confident chap, so maybe video was easy for you, but, talk to me about kind of, because a lot of people, they have their, obviously a bit nervous. It's kind of that barrier that I can't get a video. I can't really find myself to record a video. What will people think? I don't like the sound of my own voice, and all the other things that our mind tells us to stop us from doing the things that we know we need to do. I mean, clearly it's when you base it on facts and logic, we know guaranteed the results are there. People who have gone down the path of doing video have noticed a direct return on investment by doing so, but yet still so many people are reluctant to do it. So did you face some of those fears and voices in your head? And
100%. I've been watching the videos back thinking, I don't like this, but I thought it's got to go out there. You've got to record these videos. In terms of comparing what I don't like being poor compared to I don't like doing video. So for me, it was a no-brainer. If I can put this video out there and it's going to get me clients, which is ultimately going to increase the practice, you can bet that's exactly what I'm going to do. Compared to if I don't do this, I can write these articles, kind of just get lost in the sea of other accountants. So for me, I didn't enjoy it at first. I still don't really like it now. It's okay, but I just accept it as it's just what you've got to do. So I accept that, because I know it's going to get results, and ultimately it's going to allow me to have money and do the things that I want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's got that famous saying, isn't it? We may not like the process, but we love the results. So we've got to do it. Like anything in life, you want to get fit, you want to get in shape, you've got to cut down your calories, you've got to move more. We might not like doing that, but we love the results. We want to look trimmer, we want to get into that dress or those jeans. We want those results. And if we want it so bad, and then we've got to follow the process. So video's been going well for you. What else have you done on the kind of the marketing front that you would recommend for others to do to perhaps?
To be honest, yeah, literally just video in terms of actual costs, not including, so maybe up until we brought some camera equipment, we hadn't spent a penny on marketing, not including what kind of £7 for a domain name and £10 for your website hosting. We hadn't spent a penny on marketing whatsoever, literally just through making videos on your iPhone, and that was it. That's all we did. So even now, we don't really do any of the marketing. It's literally just social media, which is all free. For Christmas, we had this Father Taxmas stuff. We put a couple of quid behind some Facebook ads. But for us, we're not even looking at Facebook ads really at the moment, because there's so much free traffic out there. Until we've fully exhausted that, until that kind of sea is completely empty, there's no point, because we can put more videos out there, especially with YouTube at the moment, which is what we're growing at the moment. Put more content out on there, which just takes time. And then overall, until that's exhausted, we won't be looking at any other video, won't be looking at any other marketing opportunities, just because we need to utilize this one first.
Absolutely. Definitely. You were talking about organic traffic. Absolutely. And, there is, we know that with Facebook marketing, that everyone tells us that organic marketing is kind of dead. And it is in a way, because obviously the Facebook algorithm has changed, so that they've got a huge ad machine, which means that to get any exposure on Facebook, you've got to spend money. But you've done something different there. And you mentioned this earlier, that you've actually befriended a lot of people on Facebook. So you've actually, your only profile, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that your personal profile is essentially a business profile, because you've got all these friends, but actually they are people in your audience who are potential clients. So was that a deliberate move to kind of just...
Yeah, 100%. Kind of guerrilla marketing 101 in the early days. So yeah, literally this Facebook profile, I've got another one I don't really use anymore, because I literally use Facebook for business. Don't want to waste time scrolling through social media. So we've got this, it's fully optimized basically. So as soon as you see this, you see a link to book a call with me if you want to contact me, or there's some content on there which basically shows to you, explains to you that, this guy's giving away free information. So let's accept this, let's follow him. So when we first started out, there's a lot of groups out there. So one of them was property groups. I'd look through all of the members with this newly set up profile that had been optimized, and add everyone, add managing director, CEO of the property business, to get my profile in front of them. So that they see friend requests, oh, who's this Joshua Tharby guy? Oh, he's a property tax specialist, safety tax. Oh, let's look at his video. And we've had so many clients that have come directly from that. Literally, they accept your friend request. 2 minutes later, oh, I'm looking for an accountant. And then they convert. As easy as that.
Yeah, that's great advice. And for people who are listening, take note of that, because, I've kind of done the same as well, using a lot of people are reluctant. They say, well, I don't want to use my personal profile for business purposes, but actually your business page will get zero exposure on Facebook. They won't give you any exposure. And if you've tried, you've got to use it via ads. So actually use your personal profile as your business profile, and connect with people that you want to connect to. Make sure your Facebook profile is like your LinkedIn profile in a way, and that it's optimized. It says who you are, what you're all about, what, who you help, how you help them, how people can get in touch with you, because that is a way that you can really exploit the potential of Facebook, like Joshua has, to generate inquiries. So questions coming in now, Josh, from one from Neil. He's asking, if social media were to disappear for tomorrow, or if algorithms change significantly, how do you think your business and its brand would fare?
So I'd pivot. What we'd do is we'd literally just do something else, whether that's cold calling, giving out books, flyers. The brand would be fine. If the algorithms changed, we don't rely on algorithms. Most of the content we do is on people's friends lists. That's going to stay the same. And if not, we just do more to get in front of the people. So if I had to do Facebook ads, I'm sure we'd be successful at that. We literally just see what the opportunity is at that given time, and then make use of that.
Absolutely. And just kind of following on from that, presumably, although you use social media, you said you had a lead magnet, so you're also collecting email address. Is that right? And how...
to be honest, that's something we've neglected at the moment. It's not until I started reading a lot of stuff by Russell Brunson, the ClickFunnels founder, that we thought, hang on a minute, this list could actually be really powerful. So it's only recently we've actually started looking at making that and collecting more and more email addresses, so that we can nurture the prospects. Definitely email marketing is something I would make a key part of the strategy as early on as possible, because algorithms change, that's great. I've still got your email address, so I'm being in your inbox.
Absolutely. That's something that I'm quite vocal about as well, is don't build your mansion on rented land. and social media is going to land. The fact the algorithm is in your favor today, it may not be tomorrow. So, getting somebody's email address into your prospect database is an asset that you own, that you control. So email marketing is still important despite social media. So another question is coming in from Michelle. Where's it gone? Whoops. I've lost your question, Michelle. But whilst I find that one from Ian, are you saying that there is no point in posting on a Facebook business page and you should just post that content on your personal profile?
No. So you need something on your business page just to basically show that you're a real company. So you want something on there, just some kind of normal content, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, just the kind of the rubbish that people don't really care about, just maybe like a small tax tip, something like that, how your business is carbon neutral, all of that stuff, just to show that you're a real business. But all of the quality content, you definitely want to put on your profile first. That's not to say you can't recycle and repurpose it, whether it's a shorter bit, a longer bit, just to put on your page, because ultimately people will like that anyway, and it's an asset. But in terms of your number one platform for lead generation, it should be your personal profile with a little bit of residual content going on your page just to show you're a real company.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd echo that. Have something on your business page, but in terms of you're not going to get much exposure for it, but it does show that you are a real business. But in terms of your marketing engine, your marketing machine, the face to the world, to get more exposure, the personal profile is where it's at, to get it for free. I found Michelle's question. So Michelle asked, do you find that because you are the face of the company that people want to deal with you and not your team?
We've had that some occasions, and it's just a case of speaking to the client and saying, you know what, Crystal is the best person to speak to that, speak on that. So as long as you introduce them well enough, that's fine. But we did have that problem where people think, okay, I just want to speak to Josh. But it's just a case of saying, hang on a minute, there's somebody better equipped to deal with this than me. And as long as they do a good job, they're nice to the client. Now, most people speak to kind of other people in the team rather than myself.
Absolutely. Good. Craig is asking, using your personal Facebook profile for your business, would you advise setting up a new profile completely, or would it work using the same way with your existing profile?
You need to be careful with it, because Facebook doesn't really like you having 2 profiles. So there is a risk that you'll lose both of them. But definitely set up a new profile if you do want to keep all your personal life separate, or just give up on Facebook from a personal point of view. Realistically, you're probably spending too much time there anyway. So you could be doing better things with that. So maybe look at switching that to a business one and then getting yourself in front of your ideal clients using it.
What I would say, I'd say, don't have 2 profiles, because like Josh shared, even new profiles that you set up won't be looked at kindly. So if you have an existing profile, just turn that into your business profile. I'm sure, your friends and family aren't going to mind if you start posting out business content. In fact, you probably find that they're the ones that are supporting you, which is going to help your posts because they'll like and comment, which is all great. And then you can have separate.
Some of the better content we put out as well it's nothing to do with accounts and tax. It's just the funny memes and stuff like that people, they get the biggest shares and stuff like that. So if you can put funny GIFs and stuff like that on your Facebook, that's absolutely great, because people are going to like that, people are going to share that, and ultimately when they see the person whose profile shared that, they're going to see Joshua Tharby, click on that, property accountant, can this guy help me? So as long as you put a wide mix content out, you're going to appeal in all those different areas.
Absolutely. The ultimate aim is just to be known. It's awareness, isn't it? It's all that top of the funnel stuff that you want to get your name out there, and how best to get it out there. Then putting something on Facebook that friends and family are going to share and comment on, and also your potential audience. Shah Ahmed is asking, what's your average fees and how many clients do you currently manage?
Yes, at the moment we've probably got about 140, and our average fee is about 1,500 a year.
1,500 a year. Good. Do you have a minimum fee, Josh?
Yes, our minimum fee is 100 a month.
Okay. And typically what would that include?
Just the kind of basics year-end stuff. That's it for a small property company. All the kind of year-end essentials.
Cool. Dean is asking, have you ever used LinkedIn Sales Navigator or have a LinkedIn business page? If so, have they been effective for you?
We've got a LinkedIn business page, but we've probably only had 2 or 3 leads from LinkedIn over the past year or so. It's not something I focus on, simply because all other accountants are on LinkedIn by the looks of it. So why go somewhere? I like to think that whatever everyone else is doing, I try and do the opposite. So, that's why we're on Facebook, just going completely against the grain and against the crowd.
Absolutely. Good advice there. Neil's asking, how big is your team, Josh?
So there's 5 of us, including myself.
And do you outsource at all?
We did previously, but it's just not really worked. So that's something we're focused on at the moment. Still trying to find right team members. That's probably the only problem we've really got is finding the right staff in order to continue with our growth. So trying to bring it in-house to make sure that the quality is there and everything's being done right is a problem. We've outsourced in the past and it's just not for us.
And what's the future hold for JSM Partners? What do you want to achieve? You've clearly done very well in the last couple of years. What does the next 12 months hold? What would make you feel successful in your progress if we were having this chat 12 months from now?
Yeah, so in the next 12 months, we're certainly going to double in size again. So looking to add at least £250,000 of new fees this year, which it's a client a day, is what we're saying in the office. We don't want apples a day, we want clients per day. So client a day, and we'll get there.
Fantastic. That's great to have such ambitious and lofty ambitions. Brilliant. So, I mean, how are you? I'm sure other accountants are kind of thinking, oh my God, a client a day, how on earth do you manage to kind of get any work done if you're constantly onboarding? Kind of what systems do you have in place so that you can manage bringing on board a client a day? Yeah,
so we've got Pixie, Trello, and then it's just great staff really that are happy to do the work. So most of the onboarding stuff not really done by myself. So as long as we can get the right team in to basically cope with that, I shouldn't be a bottleneck in that.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, so parting advice then from you, Josh, to your fellow accounting firm owners out there. What are the kind of 3 wise words of advice you would give to somebody who wants that the kind of exponential growth that you have got and are looking to get in the next year or so? Yeah,
I'd say stop thinking you're an accountant, you're a marketer. Definitely. I call myself, entrepreneur, marketer first. I'm an accountant last at the end of the day. So start thinking differently and basically start getting out of your comfort zone. Don't think about how easy it might be to write this blog article. Do what's difficult, because ultimately that's what brings the best results.
Fantastic. That's great wise words there from Josh. Thank you all for listening. If you've got any other questions, listening on the replay, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'm sure Joshua will be kind of generous enough to come back and answer any questions that follow from this. So Josh, thank you once again. Thank you all for listening, and look forward to seeing you on the next Facebook Live stroke podcast. So take care, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks again, Josh.
Perfect. Thanks for having me. Cheers. Bye.